It's our first episode back after 9 months, so thank you for being a part of it.
Thank you for
It was a
having
great
me.
way to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm your
Happy.
the 9-month delivery.
You're the baby.
You're the baby.
Yeah, you guys have been gestating. Oh, my happy parents.
Exactly. This is our child, everyone.
This is what we've been hiding for the last
Exactly.
9 months. You ready? Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Half a Nice Day podcast with your host Joshua.
And Janine.
And this is our first episode back after a 9-month break, but we are really thankful to be back.
Mm-hmm.
And today we have a very, very special guest. As always, all our guests are always very special.
They are.
A lady who I met maybe around 6 years ago.
Yeah.
A very unique mix. She's half Malaysian and half American. A fellow comedian as well. A very overall funny person who moved to the UAE when she was 15. Has lived in different countries, and we are very excited to sit down and with the lovely Khalisah. So let's give a very warm Half a Nice Day welcome to Khalisah, everyone.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
You see,
Thank
we're the
you.
guests, we're the hosts, we're the clappers, we're everything in between, basically.
We have to clap for ourselves sometimes,
Yeah,
you know? So
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I know it's been a very long time since we actually met. She's one of the first comedians
Okay.
I ever shared the stage with. And
Likewise.
she has a very, very, I'm going to get this straight out. She has an amazing Donald Trump impression.
So are we going to hear that later?
It's one of the first few things I remember, like, oh yeah, comedy, you can also do impressions. Because for me, it was just about setup and punchline. But then there's so many other branches of comedy. And she was doing impressions on stage. I'm like, that's something I need to also be learning.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
So we're going to hear a little bit of Donald Trump later.
I don't know. No promises.
Like Shane Gillis, right?
Why is that so on point? Oh no. Do you just like watch him and then you're like, how can I?
He's just an inspiration, really.
We have a
the
MAGA
half
supporter
American.
over here. Yeah.
It's the half American in there. So have you ever thought of going back to the States?
Oh my gosh. I had this conversation with someone yesterday where it's just at every point in my life that there's like a new reason not to go back.
Yeah.
My dad's American, my whole, like corn-fed white bread, waspy
okay.
Americans. Yeah. And so
Which state?
Iowa.
Wow.
Yeah. Like بالعربي I say like نحن من فلاح, like we're from the village
Yes.
of America.
Yeah.
So it's
Her Arabic is so good. I'm so impressed.
We're gonna get into all that because I really want to know about this. But then like I know we cut you off, but since we're
You're
on
fine.
that subject anyway, like so you moved to the UAE when you were 15.
Mm-hmm.
And
From the States.
No, by way of like from the States, we moved to like this village in Malaysia called Terengganu. And then we moved from the village to Kuwait. And then I was in Kuwait for 6 years.
Okay.
But I went to an Arabic girls' school, a public school. Horrible. They were like, Inti Yabanizi, Inti mu halwa, like you're Japanese, you're not pretty. And I went home and I was like, Ma, is it true? Am I Japanese?
So
These girls in my class say I'm Japanese, so can you tell me and confirm that?
Yeah, it was like, I mean, I've always been other wherever I was.
Yeah.
And then now I just kind of own it. I'm like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's normal to not fit in. And now it's fine. But yeah, Kuwait 6 years, my Arabic was just like full Kuwaiti, but like feminine Arabic because I only dealt with women. So I would meet men and I'd be like, Inti min wain, and they'll be like, what the
Wait, what is that? What does that mean?
It's like
Where
it's
are
the
you
female
from?
version.
but to a woman. Because
Yeah.
you have to say inta for a man.
Oh,
But if you
okay.
say inti, like
okay,
kifak
okay.
and kifik. So it's always the E and A for women and A for men.
Right,
Basically.
right. Like the Habibi, Habibti.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you in Arabic, really, when you say something feminine to a man, sometimes they could be easily offended because you're like, I'm not a woman. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In Arabs,
Yeah.
yeah, would definitely get.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how you learned Arabic.
I
You
mean,
picked
that
it up
was-
from there.
That was one of the places. But I mean, my Arabic is so confusing. Like I still, because Arabic is a gendered language and most
Yeah.
gendered languages, they skew male. But
Yeah.
I went to an all-female school.
That's true.
And specifically, like, you know, they end with ch, right? Or it's
Yes.
like shlonich, like, how
Yes.
are you? But
Yes.
like the male is shlonich,
Yes.
Okay.
you know? But you don't do that in Levantine Arabic because like we were in Kuwait for 6 years and then we moved to Malaysia. where again, fish out of water. We were these like beige Asians that spoke Arabic, and we had to learn Malay because my parents, they put us in public schools. Honestly, like the joke to myself is like you couldn't tell from my own education that I was raised by educators because they just kind of threw us wherever. It was just like figure it out. Public school.
Your
Kuwait.
parents were educators. They're both teachers.
English professors. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hence why you sort of moved around.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So cool.
So so like let's get back to like the origin then. So how did your parents meet?
My mom got a scholarship to the States.
Okay.
So she was like, my mom and I were really close. So all her stories are so funny. But she was at this like career fair where, I don't know, she wanted to study English. She wanted to teach English. And so there were people from Iowa who were like selling Drake University to her. And so they're like, we have this program, that program. My mom's like 17 and like knows nothing. And she's like,
okay.
Is there snow? And they're like, yeah, there's snow.
You'd be surprised.
So they're like, that's it. We've had that in spades. So they were like, yeah, for sure. But then they were asking her questions like, if there's a naughty student in your class, like, how would you deal with it? And this is like 1980s Malaysia, you know, she's like, I would beat the student. And they're like, no, what? Oh my God, no, don't do that.
She's like, no, you can't.
Like, we have a Jackie Chan over here.
Yeah. They're like, please don't. Like, come enjoy the snow. Don't beat people.
And then she went and she moved there.
Yeah, so she went to the States.
At 17?
She was like 19 or something, just like super young.
But that's crazy, from like an Asian small town city to America.
Yeah.
And all like even my parents, like when they were growing up, they were like whatever they knew of the outside world was all from movies. So it was like all 100% stereotypes. And I always have this joke where my mom, when she met my dad, she's like, "You're not Indian. Where's your turban?" So she only assumes people like who are Indian to have that turban, dancing all the time, you know, jumping in front of bullets, all those sort of things.
And your dad didn't jump in front of bullets?
No.
What kind of
He's
man?
not a real Indian, I think.
Your dad didn't like break into a song and dance.
He's not friends with Shah Rukh Khan.
If he wanted to, he would.
Yeah, exactly.
So she goes to the States and then
Oh, my parents had that kind of like, because then my dad was also kind of a village boy, as in like just in Iowa, you know, because he met my mom. My mom wore hijab at the time, and he was like, "Are you Hindu?" Yeah, so he had that like, "Why do you have a turban?" kind of moment.
Right.
And she was just like, "What?" Like, it was very like, you know, she went to Walmart and she like haggled for stuff because
Can I have the best price?
like she bought a typewriter for college, and then like she and her friend, they went to the cashier and they're like, "Oh, you know, ini mahal sangat, like it's so expensive." And so they were like, "Come on, man, can you give us a good price?" And then the guy actually was just like, "Okay, you know what?" And he like took some pens and he like squished it into the capacity, you know, the little cavity underneath the typewriter. He like put pens inside. And I was like, "Wait, you haggled at Walmart and won?"
Like, let me just put
It takes
some
a
extras.
very really skilled Asian woman to do these things, you know? Like other guys would be like, "What are you on?" But Asians are really...
So she was there with a friend, another Malay friend.
It was like it was a scholarship program where they took a group of Malaysians and they sent them abroad. And honestly, like my mom, she had like no worldly whatever. Her parents were teachers too, and so her mom told her, "Go into teaching. It's super easy, manageable hours. Have your family, and then you know manage life like that."
Right.
And so she just picked like the best university that would help her in education. But she was like, in hindsight, damn, I went with dum-dums and they went to Harvard. They went to like, you know, Caltech or something. I could have been a lawyer. I could have done something else. But she was just like, I want to see snow and I'll be a teacher.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, she saw snow.
Yeah.
For a while.
She's seen more snow than we have.
So so your mom got into Iowa.
Yeah.
And how did she meet your dad? Like
both
school?
in university. They met in university. They're 3 years apart, but this is the Asian genes versus the white genes thing, because when people used to see my parents together, they used to think like, "Oh, you met in college, he's the professor." And it's like, oh man, like this is why I wear sunscreen religiously.
Yeah.
I don't know when these white genes are gonna come out.
It's just gonna sneak into your skin, you know. I say that all the time, though. I also use a lot of sunscreen because I'm like, you never know when the Lebanese genes would sort of just come out.
Yeah, but at least Lebanese, like you're Mediterranean, you know, you've got that olive oil in your blood.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
No, we're Anglo-Saxon
Yeah.
Protestant white.
Yeah.
I'm like, we age like milk on that side of the family.
How are you under the sun? Do you burn?
Yes.
Okay.
I turn
Ooh,
pink.
okay.
Like, yeah.
That's the white genes. It's coming
Yeah.
out.
Mega. Yeah.
That's why you need your SPF.
Yeah, buy that in bulk.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I layer my sunscreen over everything.
Yeah.
And then
Do you have siblings?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a big family. Not I wouldn't say big, but
4 kids.
yeah, 4. There's 4
Okay.
of them.
Yeah.
I'm the eldest.
And I met one of your sisters,
Which one?
the
Was
one
she
who also
hijabi?
tried stand up.
Oh, Amani. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love the name.
So it's so weird. So we've always crossed paths when it comes to stand up, and then you moved. I think you're one of the guests who we wanted to bring on to the show as early as possible. But then I think that's
Yeah.
when you also had moved to
Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember
So
you
I always
talking
told her
about-
like
yeah.
whenever you're back, let us know. And then somehow she's back, and we managed to get you on the podcast. So thanks once again for being here.
And thanks for having me.
Yeah, and so it's really cool like how sometimes the connections you make like super long time ago are sitting right in front of you right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was nice. It's nice that you're here. And so you moved to Spain, I saw, to study your master's in sustainability
Yes.
tourism.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did my research.
I love that.
Muy bien.
Sustainability tourism. What does that mean?
Sustainable tourism, it sounds like an oxymoron. I mean, out the gate, it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
But tourism's going to happen anyway. So there's like ways that you can manage it. I had worked at Dubai Tourism before the pandemic.
Right.
Okay.
And so Dubai Tourism is a destination marketing organization, or a DMO.
Yes.
So I had that DMO experience of like, but Dubai Tourism is like purely marketing, at least in my experience with the different departments. And I wanted to see I wanted to make a career pivot into something more meaningful. Like the beginning of my career, I was with NGOs in 2009 in Malaysia. I had worked at the UN briefly here in the UAE as well.
Yeah.
But then financial crisis. And so
Yeah.
I went corporate, and then I was like, as soon as I can, I want to get back to something more meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 years into my career being at Dubai Tourism, I was like, okay, I think it's time to make that shift now. How do I do that shift without losing the least amount of time and money to
Yeah.
make it, and then like pivot into sustainability?
Yeah.
Because for me, that's like the compromise between having something meaningful and like an income.
Yeah.
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 Working in humanitarianism, like it's challenging. Like, okay, you're giving your life for others, but you have no
Yeah.
income or
Yeah.
shoestring budget, you know?
Yeah. And that's why most of the time people who are actually working in NGOs or humanitarian programs are the ones who are already wealthy, because
Yeah.
you know it's easier in that way.
1000%.
So it's
Yeah,
difficult
there's
to
not a lot of
make it a
sacrifice when it comes to the financial
difficult to make
side.
it a
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
Because then what would come in versus what you're able to, it is fulfilling. But then at the end of the day, you live in a world where everything costs something.
And
Yeah.
it's set up that way so that only
Yeah.
rich people can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people say like you do these like really kind of crappy jobs where you're thrown into really difficult places like Kabul or South Sudan or something. You do like 5 years out in the field, and then you get
Right.
relocated to Geneva, then you live like a king. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, how does that, like, it doesn't feel like a long-term sustainable thing.
Right.
We still live in a capitalist world too. And so I don't know, the people I worked with in humanitarianism were either like in it because like they're bleeding hearts, or they were in it because they had rich families. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you like buying a Maserati? We have the same like 3,000 dirham salary.
And being here
Yeah.
at the same time.
Like I used to make pot noodles at the UN office here, and the UN office was at Paramount Hotel, you know, the one
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
not Midtown, the one behind.
Yes.
But like Damak somehow got that land from it, so they had to relocate to Abu Dhabi, and they're like, can you come with us? And I'm like, will you pay me more than 2,000 dirhams
Because it's
go?
kind of expensive to live in Abu Dhabi as well.
Yeah. But I was like, that was like early days struggling. Like I remembered once I was so depressed too. It was like also 2011, there was a lot happening in the region. I was like working for this news department where we were just uploading stories of like, you know, 100 people killed, and they wanted to make it as reporty as possible
Right.
with no emotions.
Okay.
But you're just like going through this. I'm like this like little intern who wants to change the world, and just reading all these like heartbreaking stories.
Yeah.
And then so I went to the kettle and I poured the water onto my pot noodles, and I was like, oh man, I didn't like heat up the water. So I like looked around. And I dumped it all into the kettle, noodles and spices and everything, set it to boil.
He's like,
Looking around like, no, okay. And then like had my noodles. I tried to like clean out, soap and
rinse
everything.
it out and everything.
Yeah, but it's Maggie noodles, man. You know that?
And some guys later is like, why does my coffee taste like chicken?
Yeah. No, exactly. The girl with the Maserati was like, you.
Exactly.
She's like, you're always eating noodles. Why does the water taste like noodles? And I was
You
like,
Asian woman.
and I'm like, what? Huh?
You Japanese woman, come here.
Exactly. I was like, I swear, it's not my noodles. I'm not Japanese.
Exactly.
She like put soap in it and she boiled it, so like it was overflowing with
right.
soap and stuff. It was it was a weird time. They also had the World Food Program there, and so we would like line up. The cafeteria was at the World Food Program, and the other humanitarian workers were like, "Are we all in line for rice?" And I was like, "Y'all get rice? Not just pot noodles for me."
There's other options.
The Asian in you is like, rice.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Exactly.
So, in terms of like food preference, I'm pivoting from like humanitarian to food.
Yeah, I have undiagnosed ADHD, so there's a lot.
Exactly. I'm just like, let's go. Do you prefer more Asian cuisine than?
I mean, 100%. I mean, people say
than white food.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like if you get a poutine or like and what's a Malaysian food? Nasi lemak, right?
Nasi lemak is the best.
Yeah.
So like of course you're gonna choose the latter. And
I love. Did you hear how she just switched up her accent when she said nasi lemak?
say it? I didn't hear.
Why? What did I said is the best?
Can you say it again? Can you say nasi lemak?
Oh, nasi lemak? Yeah.
She has that gift as well. So when she switches, like now it's super
Codes-
neutral Dubai accent.
Uh-huh.
Then when she has to go Arabic, she'll go like "Rar, rar, rar," like real Arabic. And when she goes Filipino, she goes like super like
Yeah, but I
Filipino
mean-
style.
Like nga nga nga.
Nga, 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 nga. Yeah.
You guys both have it, by the way. It's really cute. Like, I love observing you guys. I'm going to flip this onto you guys now. But, like, because as a halfie, watching halfies, especially, like, a halfie couple, like, I love this dynamic. Because, like, your Filipino accent will, like, come in and out.
Yes.
For me, it comes out in the worst times, by the way. I'm
Oh,
speaking
no.
to my British manager, and then instead of October, I will say October. And I'm like, oh no. And then I'm just
And
like,
just slipped out, and you're like, okay.
Which,
as if
by the
nothing
way,
happened.
both times you said it was a Filipino accent. One was just
you know, when I said it, I'm like, I said it in the Philippines.
You were like,
but I'm just gonna go pass through it.
you were like, instead of October.
I was like, October.
Like, I didn't hear a difference, Josh. Like,
I was like,
do it one more time.
I was like, how does it get stronger?
I'm just gonna shut up now.
That was so funny, No, but I totally get the code switching, especially when I'm around Lebanese and stuff. Like, I'm a fake Arab. I call myself a Karama Arab because, like, because it's like it's like accent on point because I learned it at a young age.
Yeah.
But like grammar and dialect is like what, you
Yes.
know, especially like gender is all over the place, you
Yeah.
know. But it's like if I'm with Tala, if
Yeah.
I'm speaking with her, like, la, it's not a big deal. Like, no, I was just worrying about you, you know. And then I do it and I'm like, la, no, habibti. I'm like,
Habibti,
walao,
no.
it's fine.
That's so
it's a
Levantina.
Dubai gift. A lot of people have that. Like even when I hear my colleagues speak to like an Indian delivery driver, they like have the most broken English. Like no, front side, come front side. You know, I'm just
Yeah.
like just speak normally. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But I think it's better for others to understand it or at least try to
Yeah.
break down the language for them. You know.
But I'm trying to go back to what you said earlier. Here I am with my ADHD as well. Even if I don't have ADHD, maybe I do. You were saying something about moving around and sort of being this half and half, and not really trying, like having difficulty finding your place. Because I think we sort of went through that as well. We were both raised in Dubai, but also we're like, this is not our country. And then people ask you almost every time you meet a new person or a stranger, they're like, oh, so are you more Filipino, you're more Lebanese, or you're more Indian? And you're like, well, I think I'm a mix of both. But there's always this like, pick a side. Which one are you? And I think growing up in that mentality of being half and half in a country that's not yours sort of makes your head like spin around, and you're like, okay, what am I? Who am I? Where am I from? And you've been through that a lot. You
Like
were
more than
in
us, for sure,
Malaysia,
yeah.
you were in Kuwait, and suddenly you're here,
Spain.
and then Spain
Spain,
as
yeah.
well as an
Yeah.
adult. So how was that, like moving from different
Um,
places?
I think like, well, childhood wise, so I'm the eldest of four. Like we all react to this differently. Like my sister Amani, she's number 2. She's the one you met. And I think you saw her perform.
Yeah.
That
At
was at.
T-Bone's room. In
Yeah.
Barsha,
is-
I think.
It was the Belgian Beer Cafe.
Yeah,
And
correct.
honestly, that was like her first and only time, and she killed it. But she
Ah.
freaked out because it was her first time. She's like, "Oh my god, I don't know why you do this." It's like,
It's the
I
worst.
don't
Yeah.
know why you guys do this until now. Like every time I see comedians up on stage, I'm like, you guys are brave to subject yourself to people's reactions, and then if you don't get the laugh, then what?
oh, but I feel like you really inoculated yourself. Like it's like cold plunges, and then you upload your bombs. I'm like, that fucking
Yeah.
respect.
Because that's the thing. So okay, before we get into that, but
Yeah.
I just want to just touch on that subject because when my first ever show, I bombed my Dubomedy show, and that's the
Okay.
worst feeling because everyone there, even if you're the worst comedian, if you have the stupidest jokes, they laugh. But I bombed so bad because I was trying to do something else which I didn't learn in the class. There was a girl I was trying to impress who was in the audience.
I remember.
Yeah, so
Can I say her name?
Yes,
can, yeah.
yes.
it's all lit. It's
Penny. And his whole. So we took this class together. This was also, I think, my
You're
first or
also in
second.
Dubomedy.
Yeah, we're both
Yeah,
Dubomedy
yeah.
grads.
Okay,
Yeah, and we
yeah.
were both like nervous. I was so nervous. Like I went on stage, I like everything went white. I didn't remember any reactions. So when I came off stage, people were like, "You're doing good." I was sweating buckets. I was just
Yeah.
like sweating through my shirt. I'm like, "Oh my god, it's a good thing." I don't know. Next time, just wear black. That's why they wear black.
yeah.
But it was yeah, you brought up Penny in your set, and then later you were like, "Yeah, she's gonna be there," and the class was like, "What?"
Yeah. And everyone's like,
Because one of the jokes was like, "Come back."
Yeah.
Like, well, I remember Ali being like, "Bro."
they're saying don't do it. I'm like, you know what? And I bombed so hard. So I don't want to say I'm immune to bombing, but I enjoy it because that's when my real side shows up on stage. Because otherwise, I'm like I memorize my jokes word for word, and I'm never like relaxed on stage. But when I'm bombing, I feel like I become so loose for some reason, and like this is even and it's the worst thing to say, but comedians never laugh at each other. Like, but the only time they actually laugh is when someone is bombing, and that's what I like. I like when other comedians are laughing at me. So it's a very stupid thing, but yeah, I like everyone thinks that all these jokes I post online. I have even had my old friends messaging me like, "Dude, what's happened to your stand up? Like, what are you doing?" But I don't understand. Like, this is for the comedy for me. I'm not doing it for like a lot of people, you know. So,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So okay, now back to yours.
This is a question. I'm so sorry. It's just like but the experience thing. Like my sister, she reacts to it like she keeps receipts on her phone. So when people
Right.
are like, "Oh, you don't really seem American," or "You don't really seem like," there's like, I don't know if you guys experienced this here, but maybe especially for you, sometimes in our very like Eurocentric world, when you claim to be half,
Yeah.
you know, they think that like you're trying to get clout because it's like, "Oh no, you're not really American. You don't really seem like
Right.
American," you know? And so
Yeah.
I kind of was just like, oh, like I dealt with it like in my own internal way, but my sister would like pull up pictures and she's like, "This is my grandpa Larry. This is my grandma Marge." Okay.
I
Like
love
With names like that already, I'll be like, okay, you're American, Larry.
Marge. She's like, "You try to come at me now." Like she was very like, you know,
Yeah.
"You want receipts? I got receipts." And-
Yes.
Right.
But I always struggled with that where I'm like, I don't want to have to prove myself, you
Yeah.
know. It's I am what I am.
Yes.
I only got comfortable with it honestly in my 30s.
Yeah.
By my 30s, people are like, "You don't seem American." I was like, "All right, well, go find an American
Sure,
then." Like,
yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
not my job to meet whatever expectations you have. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go Baywatch down, you know, the beach or something
Right.
if that's what your expectation is.
Yeah.
Though it's happened, like I remembered once I was tutoring this kid. I had worked at this like child tutoring. I've been everywhere. And this girl was a delight. She was wonderful to work with, and she's 6 years old, talked about me to her parents a lot. And so the mom came to the center. And so when I came out to see her, the kid's face lit up when she saw me. She's like, "Oh, that's her." The mom's face fell. And she was like, "Oh, you know, my daughter Aya said that her tutor's American." I'm like,
No way.
yeah, I was like, "I am."
Yeah.
You know, but then I'm like, what did she see that she was just like, you know, her face fell.
Yeah.
You know, and her daughter had been doing well. Like we do these tests at the beginning and at the end, and all her scores and everything improved. We had a good relationship. You know, so in that sense, I always kind of aligned with my mom because like growing up, my mom faced so much racism in the Middle East, and I had front row seats to that. Well, more in Kuwait. Honestly, it was better here.
Yeah.
But when, like, my mom is a teacher, but in Kuwait in the 90s, oh my God, like the
Gosh,
students
yeah.
would be like, I want tea when she walks into a
No
classroom.
way.
Yeah. So she really had to like work double. My dad was this tall white guy. So
Yeah.
he was just like, sup. And they're like, oh my God, second wife? Hello.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So my mom's like, man, this place sucks. And my dad's like, I don't see it.
Yeah, because they have
like,
that
"I'm fine."
white knight sort of image they
Yeah.
have, especially when an Arab country, like, oh, American, oh, British,
Yeah.
British.
Yeah.
Then it's
Yeah.
Asian, it's just like, she'll tell you like stories about
Yeah.
how her mom also faced
Yeah.
similar situations like this in Lebanon, right?
Yeah, Lebanon.
And from our different
here.
guests, we've had guests who are like Filipino mom, Egyptian dad. You can imagine how
yeah.
things
Yeah.
are also like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but here it's starting to get normalized.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still some people who are like not, I don't want to say weirded out, but they're still like not used to the fact like, oh, an Indian can marry a Filipino or someone else can marry some other nationality. It's still like, oh, how does that dynamic work? But
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah.
It happens, and these like us as a product are like getting the best of both worlds.
Yeah, or the worst of
Oh,
both
yeah.
worlds. I've met
That's
shitty
true.
halfies.
Do you ever get the question of, are your parents still together?
Yeah, a lot. And then, because I think that when they hear the two different cultures in their minds, they're like, oh, there's no way it could work.
Yeah.
Or if
Yeah.
it did, there's no way it could last. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, they were together 20 years.
Yeah.
But I would also agree, maybe they shouldn't have it that long. I was like, these people aren't wrong.
I think they
2 decades is a
they
little
passed
bit
the
too long.
expiry date, guys.
I
It's like
I think the cultural difference was my dad's an asshole. So. No, he's okay. But like, yeah, compatibility. This that relationship stuff.
In the 90s, and being an interracial couple must have been very hard.
I mean, my parents met in Iowa, and actually my dad's family was like super accepting because like my mom, Allah yarhamha, she passed away in June.
yeah.
But she was a
Sorry
great,
to hear that.
Yeah.
she was thank you. But she's like zany. I get my sense of humor from her. She's like very personable and stuff. So like my grandpa fell in love with her. He was just like, oh, this is a firecracker.
Yeah.
So like, because it was still surprising for me. I'm like, how do you have this like hella insular working class white family in Des Moines just like wholeheartedly embrace this like little hijabi Asian woman, you know? But she also was a good influence on my dad. My dad was like in and out of college, in and out of like drugs or things like that. And then met my mom, cleaned up, finished school.
Very nice.
Yeah. And converted and stuff.
Yeah.
Actually,
Wow.
the way my parents told the story, because I'm like, oh, how did his family accept that? They're like, subhanallah. Like they saw that he became a better person and stuff. And so they accepted that his son
Right.
became Muslim. But then my uncle Scott, he came over to Dubai once, first time. That's a whole other story. But he was staying with me and we ended up bonding a lot. He stayed with me for 3 weeks and he was like so jet lagged. So he'll be awake at like 5 a.m. So by the time I come out, he's like, the house is like clean, coffee, and he's sitting there and he's like, I've been waiting for your ass. I'm like, it's 7 a.m. But it will like chat a lot and also undiagnosed ADHD. Like we'll talk over each other and he'll be like, my turn.
Can I speak?
So we like got into it, and then I was like, so from your perspective, what was it like when my dad converted,
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I don't know, your dad like actually like buckled down, went to study, and then one day he came home and he was like, guys, I have something to tell you. I'm Muslim now and you can't change that. And they were like, okay, Mark, like whatever.
Because maybe it was just another one of those things.
They're
that-
like,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
sure. Like,
Yeah.
do we have to do anything? Okay.
Do you have to convert to?
It was really like a non-big deal on their
Yeah.
side, but my parents had made it out to be like this whole subhanallah.
Yeah.
No, but was
He
it
has changed.
from your mom's side? Was they accepting of her to marry a white dude, or
It was
because I think it
like-
would have been a more difficult transition for them rather than the white to an Asian, or
yeah, a hard sell. I mean, I think it was also difficult because like my mom was overseas, and so sending home letters, it takes months, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
she sent home a letter to her folks to be like, I met someone, it's pretty serious, etc. And then she waited a few months for them to write back. Because she's like, what do you think, we want to get married? And they were like, because she's like, he's a fellow student, he's a good Muslim, he's converted, all intentions are there and stuff. And then they wrote back and said, we haven't met him. He hasn't been to Malaysia. Maybe wait a year or something like that. But then my parents were like 21, 22. And so they were back there like, we can't wait. We want to keep it halal. Which is just, code speak.
Yes.
Like, we want to beg, but we got to, in the eyes of the Lord.
But we got to make it official first.
Because then they're like, no, we can't. Like, so it was just kind of like, I guess my Malaysian family were just kind of like, okay, they kind of had to accept it. And even my mom's mixed too, because my grandpa's Malay and my ato, he's Malay, and my grandmother's Chinese.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
So they've
Chinese
also
blood too.
experienced that biracial thing. And she was also a convert. Like, she was Buddhism, but also went to a nun school. And
Wow.
in Malaysia, it's a whole like tense thing, because like when she married when she was like in the courtship stage, my
Right.
grandfather would visit my grandmother at her house, and he'll bring a chicken, and then like his future Chinese mother-in-law chased him away with a broom.
Oh my God.
Like, get out of here, Malay boy. Because in Malaysia, if you're Malay, like by constitution, if you're born Malay, you're born Muslim. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't know
Okay.
that.
And if
Okay.
you marry a Malay, you have to convert to Islam.
Right.
So that's a whole like political, religious thing. I won't touch too much.
Okay.
But that's so it meant like if you fell in love with a Malay, you had to convert.
Right.
And so there's a lot of Chindians in Malaysia, like Chinese
Yeah, yeah,
Indians.
yeah,
Mhm.
And like for them, they bond over the fact that like they drink and eat pork, and
Right.
and neither
right.
has to convert if they marry each other. But
Yes.
if you marry a Malay, like you have to, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, they've had that kind of experience, I guess. But having said that, though, my parents are biracial. The rest of my family stayed pretty insular.
Okay.
Right.
So when I go back, it's still kind of weird where they're just like, oh, our white cousin's here. And I'm like, I'm literally like not considered white anywhere else in the world. Like one of my cousins, I told them in Spain that people know that they call me like Chino or something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? Like
Yeah.
they don't know that you're a white person? I'm like, you guys know they're like white or whites.
Yeah.
I'm like the bottom of the rung. Kinda like,
You know, it's so funny you said that, because it's the same. So if I go to the Philippines, I'm considered white.
mm-hmm.
People even ask me, oh, are you half? Especially where I come from, there's a port for the American Navy. So there are a lot of half Filipino, half American who were sort of, their dads had gone back to America and left them in where my hometown is. So I always get asked, they call it tisay. Like tisay is mestiza. Mestiza is whiter skin.
Mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they always ask, are you kana or American? They say kana, like Americana. And I'm like, no, I'm Lebanese. And they're like, Lebanese? What is that?
Yeah.
And then you have to explain, okay, Lebanon. Or they're like, oh, like Saudi. Because at that time, like Saudi was more famous than Dubai. I'm like, no, actually from the UAE. So they're like, oh, so you're from the UAE? No, I'm Lebanese, but I lived in the UAE my whole life. But then I moved to, let's say I'm in Lebanon for like the summer, and then they're like, oh, you're Asian. But then you go to the Philippines, you're white,
Yeah.
or you're European, or you're something else. So there's this duality of like, again, who am I? What am I? And then you have this sort of existential crisis of you look at your parents and like, why have you done this to me?
Yeah. Yeah. My sisters, they had that a lot. They were like, why have you done this? And
Yeah.
exactly like you're Asian in non-Asian spaces and you're white in non-white spaces or in Asian spaces.
Yes.
And I think that's like the half experience. It's like a consistent like interview process.
Yes.
So just like where you're being interviewed and then you're also in some cases being asked to explain yourself, back it up with credentials
Yes.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so in a way, I feel like it also prepares us, like our interpersonal skills are probably through the roof.
Yes.
Because like we've been put in the hot seat since you're 7 and you have to explain your life history and why you
True.
look this way or something.
True.
Exactly.
And it's also, I mean, yeah, you do encounter a lot of people who are a bit thoughtless, and it prepares you for life, I feel.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, I feel like it's helped me create a sense of like good judge of character,
Yeah.
where I'm just like, okay, you're an idiot, but it's okay.
Yeah.
At least you're
okay, I
interested to learn. At least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least
exactly.
you're curious,
Yeah, no, just people who just have no exposure. Like when I went to public school in Malaysia, I don't know if I need to back up like
No,
the-
Go
for it,
ahead. Yeah.
yeah, States, born there. Me and Amani were born in States. I'm the eldest, and then Amani. So 88, 89. Then we moved to Malaysia. My mom's scholarship condition was that whatever you study in, you have to come back to Malaysia and the government will place you where you're needed.
Oh,
And
okay,
so-
okay.
My mom and dad were English teachers. So they placed her in this like seaside village called Terengganu in Malaysia, in a
Wow.
village called Ugly Stones. So Batu Buruk. Yeah.
Mm.
Wow, okay.
1990s. Dina was born there. And my dad was like, it was the first time he'd seen the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah, he'd never left Iowa. The furthest he'd been
Right.
was like Chicago.
Okay.
And so flew out to Malaysia. And my mom says there's a story they were like driving along the coast and then he saw the beach and it's just like a crummy beach. And he was like screaming in the car, like, pull over, pull over. And he like ran out, pulled off his clothes to like jump in the ocean.
Wow.
And they were just like, man, these fucking crazy white people.
And you stop speaking the story about your mom seeing snow for the first time, and she's like, "Wow, snow!" And all the white people are like, "What's wrong with her?"
Yeah.
So it's like this exactly the duality. Okay, so
It is, yeah. But I mean, my dad was also like 21, 22. He also had a knack for languages, to be fair. And
Okay.
so he learned not just Malay, but he learned like village East Coast Malay.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because he'll just be like, apa tu, like something like nasally and whatever. And
Wow.
he'll still speak like that in Malay. And it like grinds my gears. I'm like, stop it.
Yeah.
I've been told I speak news anchor Malay. They're just like,
okay.
it's very like, it's not very street kind of thing.
like
I need a while.
radio.
Yeah. But then Malaysia, Dina was born there. Then we moved to Kuwait for 6 years. I did Malaysia was where I first started speaking. So this was like kindergarten. Kuwait was grade 1 through 4.
Okay.
Moved to Malaysia grade 5. Bombed all my exams. And like, that's not great when you move to an Asian country
Yeah.
where
Right.
the minimum expectation is an A. It's like,
Yeah.
are you Asian or Bijan?
Yeah.
It's such a bad joke. Like, I was
Bijan? That's the
I
first
was-
time I ever heard that.
no, I
That's
was
funny.
an F-shin. I could not. I was like, oh, this isn't because an Arabic school system's so different. It's more like rote memorization and recitation,
Yeah.
you know? And then Asian schools, like, here's math. I'm like, my parents are English teachers. Are you kidding me? I can't, like, right now.
Give me something about literature or something.
Can you some Shakespeare and get out? Like,
Yeah, no, and I tried, like, this was the first and last time I tried to cheat as well, because, like, these kids made a deal with me. They're like, listen, like, you teach us English and give us the English, like, you know, answers, and we'll give you math. And I was
Okay.
like, dope. And so I helped them. I was like, under the table, like, the answer's A, the answer's C,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
And then, like, in math, like, they didn't help me. I bombed. I helped advance 4 students into advanced English. They held us all back. It was so annoying.
Oh my
Never
goodness.
cheating again. Never
thought you were my friend. Have to explain this to my parents now.
So, and that was your first heartbreak.
I mean, no, disappointment for sure. But being in Malaysia, like, you know, these kids who spoke Arabic and like public school in Malaysia, and it was just such a different, and it was also mixed, but Malay is not gendered. It's actually a pretty easy language.
Right.
Okay.
I even forgot what was the original point I was going back to because it was just like so much meandering. But my brother was born in Kuwait, so that's the 4 of us.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Okay.
3 girls and then a boy.
Yeah.
And then your parents were like, that's it. Enough.
No, my mom was like down for more, and then my dad was like, nope, and he got snipped. And then that's also a reassurance that I know I don't have other half siblings
Right.
out there.
Yeah.
as
Okay,
well.
okay.
There you
Like, my
go.
brother was the end of the line.
Right.
Yeah.
And so your sister is here.
Amani is in the States.
Okay.
She moved back to Des Moines because
Okay.
I think we always had this thing as halfies, you know, like, am I really all this or all that? And I think for her, it did strike a chord growing up, like, am I really American? Because then people would be like, you're not really American or something.
Okay.
You know, I kind of just integrated it at some point. I'm just like, I am who I am,
Yeah.
Very
But-
nice. Okay.
which wasn't easy. I mean, it fluctuated a lot in my 20s. But Amani was just like, maybe it's time. Because I moved to Spain. And then she was like, why am I in Dubai? She felt like she'd done the dating gamut. She'd worked at Red Bull for 7 years.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she had a really cool life here.
Yeah.
And then she'd felt like, okay, well, Khalisah's moved on.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go somewhere. Goes to Des Moines. We all told her, don't do it. We're like,
Okay.
if you're going to the States, go to New York or,
Oh, yeah.
or LA
Yes.
or
Yeah.
a city, you know? But she moved to Des Moines. And now she's like, why am I in Des Moines?
Well, I can imagine being here for 6 years and then going back to sort of, I don't know, like a not provincial, but sort of the
Small town.
Yeah,
Small town, yeah,
life
sort of.
after
Yeah,
Dubai could be
yeah.
quite a
Like Stars
difference.
Hollow, but less cute.
Stars
Not really less cute.
No, but that's usually what people want, right? Like when they leave Dubai, it's like I want something completely opposite than Dubai. Or I
Yeah.
mean, it goes both ways as well. So like if someone wants that high fast-paced lifestyle, they're like, okay, then maybe another city as such, like a New York or a Singapore or something. Or they want the complete opposite. No, a small town,
Farm life.
yeah, like maybe 10,000 people. You have your own like farmhouse or something, or a barn. Just living the quiet life.
Yeah. I mean, I think she also wanted to like experience what it was like to be with that side of the family.
Right.
And I mean, and they're okay, but like I had to tell, we'd had these conversations. I'm like, you have Asian expectations on a white family. You can't have that. Because they were like, you should move back. You should spend time with us. So she goes back and she's expecting like a lot of like family gelling kind of time.
Right.
And they're just like, okay. It was just sort of like, okay, Amani. Like, it's the same thing.
Okay, time's
Mark.
up now. You can go back to my TV show.
Yeah,
Too much
exactly.
family time.
And now she's like, why did I? She's been there now for like a couple of years. But we were all in all in the UAE. We moved here in 2003. And so we moved here during the Iraq War. And that was actually, now I'm going back to one of your earlier questions. Have I ever considered moving back? Like growing up, we always felt like we might move back.
Yeah.
But then 9/11 happened. And
Right.
as a Muslim family, and back then,
Right.
I actually wore hijab for a while.
Right.
So, yeah, I was like, okay, the States is not like the safest for Muslims.
Yeah.
So 9/11 happened. I'm like, I'm going to wait for that to calm down.
Yeah.
Iraq War. And then Obama won. And it's like, oh, maybe it's time to move back.
Yeah.
But it was a financial crisis. I was like, okay,
Right.
fix the economy and then I'll come back. And then Trump won.
I'm out.
Yep.
And at the time, I was married to a Bangladeshi for 10 years. And, you know, in Iowa, like, no one can tell the difference
Right.
if you're Bangladeshi or black. And
Right.
I took him for Christmas once to Iowa, and he would go out and put on his hoodie, and then I would see like people look at him, and I'm like, please don't wear your hoodie. I don't want you to get shot. He's like, but it's cold, my ears.
And he just like has a serious face and a backpack with him, and then you're like, put your backpack in. Let me see your full face.
And his hands in his pocket because he's just trying to warm up, you know?
Oh my gosh.
And he has the
terrifying.
prayer beads, and they were like, no. Outfit change right now.
He brought his shaver from Dubai, but the plugs don't work the same. He didn't bring an adapter,
right,
so
yes.
his like full like Muslim beard came out, and I was like, great! I brought a dark bearded man to Iowa. You know, on top of that, he's also like Bangladeshi. Like we're all short here, you know. So I'm like, you can't defend yourself either, you know.
And he speaks like inshallah and everything. I was like, no.
Yeah, no, my dad's side of the family, everyone's over 6 feet tall. So
Okay.
I think like they just saw the pair of us, and I'm like, yeah, we get things from the high shelves. We stand on each other's shoulders.
Yeah. We just carry each other.
It's an
Help
equal
each other out.
relationship.
And so your other two siblings,
Dina and Yusuf, they're here.
they're here. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you decided you're going to live in Dubai for a while.
No, I don't. Not really. I
No.
wouldn't say. I mean,
Yeah.
well, the whole Trump won, and we're like, let's wait for that to die down. But then for me, it's been honestly like the whole what happened October 7.
Yeah.
That for me was kind of like the death knell. Now I don't really feel like I go back because I feel like my minimum bare level activism is
Yeah.
that I'm not paying taxes to
Right.
fund foreign wars.
Right.
I've been in this NGO space and a little bit in the policy space, and so I studied international relations, and I was like, you know what America needs? Someone who understands the Middle East.
Yeah.
Like I'm the first person that I'm gonna be the bridge, you know, like changing American foreign policy
Right.
to like, because I was very like green hippie passionate activist. Like I wanted to change the world. I was like, I identified as a proletariat, which was a bit awkward when I talked to my uncle Bob in the States. He's my dad's uncle who served in the Vietnam War.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm a communist, and he's like, I fought those. I'm like, you want to fight now? And then I was like, oh wait, shit. I mean, I'm just like, you know, Facebook communist. Like,
I'm just a keyboard warrior. I'm just gonna go. And I'm not going all the way there with a.
No, I mean, like the whole moving around and my identity informed a lot of my politics and stuff as well. So I was very passionate about changing the States, and it really took like 2023 to be like, okay, you know what? Like, at least I don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
And if I lived in a city like New York or something, it'd be like 40% tax.
Yeah.
And it just feels like,
It's a
you
little
know,
bit crazy.
when you grow up with
Yeah.
no taxes, yeah. And you like when I moved to Spain, my internship was a 4% tax, and so my employer was like, you know, is this quite nice? It's nice for you and it's nice for us because the taxes aren't too high. And I was like, anything above 0 is too high.
Exactly. You're like, I did not have that in
I'm
Dubai.
like, joder, 4%.
Exactly.
Por favor. You're going to give me like a cerveza in exchange or something for that 4?
Please no.
Yeah. But
So-
then by the time I left, because I had a real job, it was 24%. And by European standards, that's still low, you know? But yeah, every time I got my paycheck, I'm like, I don't understand.
Oh gosh, because then they break it down
Yeah,
for you.
Yeah.
So this is the total, but then we're taking out
And they
24%.
instantly deduct it, right? So you don't have to
Yeah.
do any paperwork or anything.
Yeah,
like
but it's
that.
always like adjusted or fluctuated. So it's never like a set amount. Because like whatever you're being paid in Dubai, if your salary's 7K, you get 7K.
Yeah.
Right.
But like if your salary's 7K in Spain, you might get 6,495 or 652. Like
Oh,
it's
never
very
consistent.
Yeah. And it's always like the first couple of months, it's like getting your order and you're like, I also asked for fries.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we ate those. You're like, no, but why? Did you eat them?
Here's onion rings instead, you know, like
Not
yeah,
even.
this or that.
Here's
like, oh.
ketchup.
And sometimes they take a little extra to like compensate for whatever the calculation is. So it's like, oh, and we also took a bite of your burger. And you're like, what, no fries and a bite out of my burger?
How could you do this to me?
Yeah. And then it's like moving up in my career. I was like, oh, my salary is increasing. But then the bites out of your burger get more.
Right.
And then I'm like, in theory, how like nation building and policy works, I'm like, I have it in the books, but then like to experience actual socialism, I became Republican very fast.
Yeah. Like, please no.
I understand that.
So it goes by ranges as well. When you
Yeah.
get into a higher bracket, then the higher amount of
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never understand that. I've worked in Dubai my entire life, and so having a 0% no tax salary and then moving to somewhere else, where, as you said, anything above 0% to me is like, nope, unacceptable.
Is too much. Yeah. And I thought 24% is a quarter of your salary. You
Yes.
know, that's supposed to go to rent.
Yes.
And so, people in
Exactly.
Germany pay 46, 47%. Canada is
true.
like 50%. So I'll meet people who make like $200,000 a year,
Yeah,
but then 100,000 is going to taxes. It's,
Yeah.
so like in theory versus in practice,
yeah,
so painful.
yeah.
Yeah. I would not recommend.
Yeah, I think I'll be okay if everything else that comes with it is actually a good thing. Like if you don't have to wait for 6 months to get an appointment at the doctor's, for example,
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Or great education for the kids, sure. But then if you're taking a large chunk from my money
And you don't see it going used
not getting
anywhere.
anything
Yeah.
back, then
Yeah.
what's the point?
I mean, to be fair to Spain, at least, like I'd moved to Barcelona, which is
Barcelona.
in Barcelona. Sí, es muy bien. It was super nice. But everybody was like, I mean, I guess like if you take all these like different factors, like lifestyle versus like what you get and stuff like that, in terms of taxes, is not that high compared to Europe or North America.
Right.
But and you have temperate weather, you have nice services. The healthcare is nice, but yeah, the bureaucracy will get you down. So everybody's like kind of at like a sort of simmering like frustration.
Yeah.
Like Ali and Mina had come out to do a show in Barcelona and we met up,
Okay.
and I was there at that point already like 2.5 years, and I was like, don't complain about Barcelona, don't complain about Barcelona. And Ali's like, how's Barcelona? Man, that's
What's the deal?
All came out.
yeah. And it really was just like, it's like if comfortable quality of life is here, living there was like a little bit below like
Okay.
comfortable. I was always like, I wish there was a little bit more food on my plate, a little bit more groceries in my basket, a little
Right.
bit more square feet in my apartment, a few €100 in my salary, por
Yeah.
favor. You know, so it was like I would go hike in Barcelona up to like a viewpoint, and you know, the good stuff is legal, and so
Yeah.
I'd like get up there.
Is
Have a-
it? It's legal.
It's
Okay.
legal there, yeah. And I have like a puff, and I'd like
Yeah.
watch the sunset, and I'd just be like, God damn it. Do I like you or what? I don't know. Like, why are you so,
so
hard
torn.
to live with?
You're like, this
Yeah.
is nice, but then I have to get back to reality after this.
I felt like it was like being in a relationship with like a really hot person, but
Yeah.
with a slightly difficult personality. And you're like, I don't know, are the trade-offs worth it?
Yeah. Or someone
Pick
that
my
you can
battle,
have
you know?
Yeah.
a conversation with. You're like, you're nice to look at, but then
Yeah, because I'm like, you're so freaking beautiful and also so freaking hard to live with at the same time. And then it's like you start thinking of your situationship ex Dubai, where it's just like, Habibi, I know you're gonna come back to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll see you soon, girl.
Yeah,
Dubai's
you're
like,
like,
come back,
no.
baby, and you're
No, but I
like,
think,
yes.
but the tax thing is already a lot of discussion happening in the GCC.
Yeah.
Like Oman has already started
Oh,
an
shit.
income tax, but of course,
Oh.
after up to a certain bracket, I think in like dirham equivalent, I think like 300,000 dirhams. If you make that and above, you'll start getting
in
a
a
slight-
month,
income. No, in a year.
like who gets 300,000 in a
There are
month?
people, but I'm just saying like an
Yeah.
overall annual salary. I
Right.
think,
Mhm.
but I think it's still quite low, like around 5%. But I think it's making its way
It's creeping its way.
into the region very soon.
Well, I'll accept 5%. I mean, compared to 40.
Well, it's also, I guess, because like out here, if they decide to build trains and stuff, because it's your taxes pay for something, right? And
Yeah.
so what was nice in Barcelona is like the walkability, the way the city's
Right.
designed is one of these gold standard cities, the way it's like laid out. And so public transport is robust. Okay, coming from the Middle East, Europeans will be like, no, it's not that good. Biking is dangerous. But I'm like, you can't bike here, you know? So
Not at
Yeah.
all. It's not
Yeah.
even a walking
Yeah.
city. I mean, now the weather's starting to be great. You can't walk.
yeah.
Yes, probably you can walk up to one point and then you're like, what is this? There's either like a roadblock or a giant building in front of you, or suddenly a highway pops up and you're like, where do I have to go?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really not built to be walked around, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
it's
All
also,
of those sustainable cities and all that then.
would you have to take a car too?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you take a car to there, then walk
Yeah,
around there.
yeah.
then
It's like
take
an
your
electric
back.
car, so I think it still does something
Yeah.
for the environment.
Yeah.
Well, these electric cars are also powered by fossil fuels because the electricity that charges your car comes from fossil fuels.
And
Yeah.
the batteries I heard are
Rare
doesn't
earth
break down
minerals.
very easily and
Yeah.
does a lot of damage to the environment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, these cars are very carbon intensive. This is my wheelhouse, and I'm in the sustainability
Yeah,
space.
Yes.
So it's like
Exactly.
to build these cars, it's like it requires a lot of like rare earth minerals, which are also fueling conflict and stuff elsewhere. And yeah, it's carbon intensive to make these cars as well. So this is a carbon fueled car in terms of like powering the electricity to charge the car. The car is made of stuff that's difficult to make, and then it's also hard to recycle.
Right.
The more sustainable option is to get a secondhand car.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, like
agree.
you weigh all
E
unless you can drive that EV for a very long time.
Right.
I mean, that's what makes something more sustainable. Whatever you already have, just keep it going.
Yeah.
Your clothes, your items, everything.
You sound exactly like my wife at this point,
Oh, really?
because she's always about like
that explains
if
the
it's
smile.
why buy something that's not, why replace something that's not broken,
Mhm.
And like I always ask her, are you gonna sell your car and get a new one? And she's like, no, it still works pretty much fine. Like, why do we
Yeah.
have to
Get a new one.
yeah, like burden yourself with these things? Like lately, for some reason, I don't know why I've been on this sort of shopping spree, and the worst part about it is that I work from home 4 days a week. So I'm like, when am I even gonna wear this? Like literally, the only time I wear like outside clothes is maybe like 3 or 4 days a week. And that's also casual stuff, but then I'm buying like long sleeves for work and everything, and I go to work only once a week, so it's
Oh yeah.
like what am I doing here? And she always has to like ground me and stuff, like, Josh, you have to be better with your finances, all this stuff. I'm pretty good with my finances, but
Yeah.
it's just that sometimes I
It's
get
the
little bit-
sustainability part.
yeah, I
Yeah.
get a little bit crazy.
Yeah. Even with phones, it's like, do you want a new phone? Shall we buy, the new
That,
iPhone?
yeah, that's my red
Yeah.
flag. I
Should we
always
buy a
want
new
the
iPhone?
latest and greatest.
And I'm
Dubai
like,
baby.
no.
Yeah, I know.
My phone's totally fine. I mean, it's an iPhone 13, maybe slightly older than everyone else's, but it's still functioning.
Yeah.
And then it sort of
But there
crashes
is a
down a
back
little
reason
bit.
as to it, like I don't want to make it like all about me, but I have a good job right now, and which I didn't have in the last couple of years, and I've do I want to share this? But
I know,
but,
like you're outing yourself.
but like I have a better income compared to what I had, so now I'm just like
Lifestyle
nah,
creep.
yeah, exactly, lifestyle creep, And I'm like, how am I saving the same amount of money as I did when I had this much salary compared to what I'm doing right now? And then I started realizing, oh, it's my whole lifestyle has changed a lot, and all these things, and I need to like, if I can do what I had with my previous salary right now, I need to have that mindset and save that money or do something with that money which is going to benefit me in the long run. So
Yeah.
So you're not that Indian in that sense.
No,
oh no,
at
trust
all.
me, with some things I am super Indian.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't go to
I'll
like
give you an example. I have a big water bottle, right? So I go to the gym and I come back and it's empty. He's like, you didn't fill it in your gym?
Yeah, I'm like,
Should have.
why are we wasting? Even for me, I fill like all my water in the gym.
That's so funny.
I shower in the gym, and I'm just like, I'm saving so much electricity and water at home. My water bill is so low.
And then
All
he
these
buys
small
4
things, and then
shirts.
she's just like it's our anniversary. Let's go somewhere. I'm like, okay, let's go to Dubai Mall, Chinatown food court. That's one of my favorite places. Like, why can't we just go to a nice restaurant and like have a nice celebration? You know, like it's our anniversary. I'm like, why are we spending money on food when we can?
Yeah.
So there's like these things that, of course, I'm still very Asian about.
Yeah.
But then,
I mean, yeah, and I was married to a Desi for a while. And
There you
so
go.
the best gift I got him one year was nothing. And he almost cried from happiness. He's like, the savings. I was like,
you saved money?
Because I would get him stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I got him a PlayStation once. That one I think was by far,
Yeah.
I was like wife of the year
Okay.
that
And
time.
he's like, why? But also, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think like it was in that regard, he needed someone else to pay for it because like he couldn't bring himself to spend, but he wanted the thing.
Yeah.
But he was very just like counting down to the dirham.
Yeah.
But
It's an Asian thing.
yeah, but showering in the gym hits different. It's really
Yeah.
nice. You're like, and I don't have to clean up after myself. It would be disgusting.
Exactly.
But the only thing is, I'm very Filipino in a sense. I have like 900 products that I use, and bringing them to the gym is a pain. So
Yeah.
there are times I'm like, should I shower at home so I have my full ritual? You know, I can put my face mask, I can do all these things and everything, or do I just
Yeah.
endure it and come home and then?
Yeah. Also, you take a lot of showers, so having one outside is fine. It's good.
Oh,
Because you're saving water.
I
you
mean,
know?
Malaysia's like that. We take 3 showers a day. I mean, but it's humid.
Yeah.
You know? But
Yeah.
when I fell out of practice in Spain.
Yeah.
And so when I moved back, because especially winter for
Right.
us in the
Yes.
desert, in the jungle, 5 Celsius is winter.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and
I
so
would freeze to
you
death.
layered, yeah, and then like my water heater didn't work well, so then you're like, you don't want to like at any point in winter be naked and waiting for the water to run, and the water was cold.
Yes.
I remembered once like I had already put shampoo in my hair and the heater was not working.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay, tap into the Khalisah. You are the Khalisah.
Yes. You got
And
this.
I got into the cold and I was like, oh my god, this is like Guantanamo Bay. This is how they torture people.
I'll tell you everything you want to know. Just
My
Just give
pin
me
code
hot
is
water.
561. It was really just like electric shocks, like,
Yeah.
you know, and then I really did become the mother of dragons kind of thing. Like I could,
Just got it out of you.
yeah, the ocean being cold, really fucking weird. So that
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'll like swam out and was like, wow, it's like the water was 8 Celsius. And
But then
that's,
it's like sunny outside.
so it can be, yeah.
Yeah.
It can be. But you know, I would go, there was like this like weekly beach yoga and swim thing.
Oh, nice.
At like 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And they're all like Dutch, you know, and they're like, oh, the water's actually quite pleasant. And I'm like, I'm
It's
dying.
warm. It's 8 degrees. It's warm.
Yeah. I'm like, they're next level,
Yeah.
Northern Europeans.
Yeah.
But
You're like, I'm half Malaysian. Also, I lived in Dubai,
Yeah.
so this is not warm.
yeah.
because they're like, you're Iowan, right?
Yes.
Iowa has a lot of snow. I'm
Yeah.
like, I am an Iowan who grew up in the desert
Yeah.
and in the jungle.
Like,
Maxie, what happened?
he wants to be with her.
You want to go up? Or?
Wow,
Yeah.
what a difference.
Yeah. So how was it? Well, I mean, Barcelona must have been crazy in terms of, I don't know, safety wise.
Yeah, I felt that massively.
There's a lot of protests as well happening about tourists, and they don't want any tourists. They hate tourists over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a type of tourist because I mean, yeah, you had also asked about sustainable tourism and we went left somewhere.
Yeah.
But sustainable tourism is about like maintaining a place in a way that doesn't harm the environment or disrupt the local culture and
Right.
keeps people happy and brings them jobs.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And Barcelona is one of those like top case studies of like where tourism's stressful because it's like they have 2 rivers, the sea and the mountain. So it's like
Right.
a small like square footage area and they have like building codes where they can't grow tall. And so everything's maximum 6 stories.
Okay.
And it's not like a basement culture kind of thing. So
Okay.
then in the summer, there's a ratio where it's like a comfortable ratio is 1 local for every 3 tourists
Okay.
in terms of density,
Yeah.
you know. And I think that's why in Dubai is like quite spread out. So when we have tourism, I mean now it's different because we have it's more people moving here.
Yes.
Like I think someone posted that like 17,000 people just moved to Dubai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a tourism thing. It's
Yeah.
but Spain, it's 7-1.
Oof. Okay.
And I felt it. Like, I became Catalan. Like, I was like, I worked from home and there was a coffee shop downstairs. And so I would just, like, in my PJs with my mug, I'd go down, you know, me and the barista, we have a thing.
Yeah.
And so she's like, hola, gopi. And so it's so nice. And I'd,
Yes.
like, get my coffee and go. In the summer, I was in line for, like, half an hour. And this is, like, 8:30 in the morning. I'm just, like, I just want to get my coffee and go, you know. So I was like, dude, let's go home.
Yeah.
It was also like the metro is clogged, the buses are clogged. You take the bike
Okay.
and there's like nowhere to navigate.
Right.
And so it's like frustrating, but it's not, they don't hate the tourists necessarily. They're frustrated at the city council
Yes.
because it's like, manage this,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Yeah.
but Barcelona was just too successful in their like marketing.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge that I can see with like Dubai tourism, because Dubai tourism, they do a good job, but being outside, you have to overcome so many biases. It's like, is the region safe? Is it,
Right.
can women drive? That like, there were people I met, I was surprised because being at Dubai tourism and living in Dubai for so long, you kind of assume or take for granted everybody knows it here. And you meet people from different countries, right? But then being in Spain, people were like, is Dubai in India? Or like, they were,
Right.
where I'm like, how do we even start? You know?
Wow. And this was just a
Yeah.
few years ago.
Yeah, and these were young people too, so I'm like, get on the TikToks, guys.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
but it's there's so many levels to like to overcome.
Yeah.
But in places like Bali or Barcelona, they have like such positive association,
Right,
brand
right,
association,
Yeah.
that they experience over tourism.
Yeah.
And
just
so
like Japan as well.
yeah, exactly. Like, so it's a hard trade-off for these like destinations to manage, you know. So that's what I had sort of worked in destination management, because I did my master's in sustainable tourism,
Mm-hmm.
where I was basically taking my international relations degree and putting it onto my Dubai tourism experience.
Yeah.
But I'd also worked in like travel tech, like tech startups in Dubai. I was
Right.
at Nemshi when they first started.
Cool.
I was like, oh, this company's gonna shut down because
There's nothing here, guys. Like,
because it was like so expensive to operate. The region there was, you know, we didn't have e-commerce yet in
Yes,
2012. People
right.
preferred to pay cash on delivery, and
Yeah.
like operations were starting up, so things were always late. So we always gave things away for free. So I was just like, I'm not a businessman, but
We're
This is
losing
not
money here.
I better find a more stable job than Nemshi.
Right. But look at them now.
Yeah,
Crazy.
exactly.
Yeah.
I had no idea how startups worked and stuff. I wanted to be a humanitarian,
Right.
but like I went from the UN to Nemshi.
Yeah.
So tech startups, tech travel, Dubai tourism, and then so when I'd gone to Barcelona, the master's was like so rewarding because I could fill in all the gaps
Yeah.
very nice.
with like my work experience and like how things are supposed to work and like different case studies across Europe. Then I worked as a consultant for destination marketing organizations, but across Europe. So like Amsterdam and Partners, visit Oslo, visit Stockholm, but
Nice.
studying like their sustainability strategies.
Right.
So that was kind of nice. It's like,
That's so specific to what you do. So that's great. Like tourism.
yeah, hyper
sustainability.
niche.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I realized like, I think some advice kids get growing up is like, oh, you know, you shouldn't study this or you shouldn't learn that. It doesn't pay or it doesn't have
Yeah.
jobs. Like you should go for something where you'll have a job. But like, we're so niche. Like how many Lebanese Filipinos, Indian Filipinos, American Malaysians are there? Like
Right.
we're niche experiences that exist, but there's millions of niche experiences. And so I'm like, actually, Bilax, like the opposite is that you should be more specialized in whatever it is that you're passionate about,
True.
because then there's less competition.
True,
Yeah.
true.
Like how many sustainable tourism people, experts are there at the
Yeah.
same time?
Yeah.
Yes.
So actually it worked out in that
Yeah.
sense. Super lucky. And like, so I kind of got to see like a bird's eye view of like, how can a city run? It's like these tourism boards are usually like the marketing extension of a government.
Right.
And so it's like, what do you want to communicate about your place? What kind of tourists do you want to attract? And that's like Barcelona, they're not anti all tourists. Like number one, they're frustrated at the city for mismanaging it.
Okay.
But number two, the tourists that they don't like are the disrespectful ones. And I think that's like anywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
want like, I mean, they call them giris, but giris are like typically like drunk British men, you know, or drunk British boys who come and they like wreck shit and
Right.
stuff, you
Yeah.
know. And so they don't like disrespectful tourism.
Yeah.
Like if it's like, oh, I've come here to see Gaudi and like go to museums,
Yeah.
you're not going to be an annoying tourist.
Right.
They don't mind. But if you're going to be like
Day
hen
drinking
parties,
and-
yeah.
I'm just wreaking havoc everywhere. Then
Or
we don't
clogging
want
up
you.
my favorite cafe under my house and making me late for work.
You know, like we just got back from Japan like a a month ago.
Cool.
And one thing that I also like was really baffling to me, like we see people queuing up. It's a very normal thing over there. But can you imagine like a local who goes to this one ramen shop that they always did forever, and then suddenly there's a post that like, oh, I went to this ramen shop, it has the best ramen, and then it's like now people are flocking to it, and now that same person, like how you experience in that coffee shop, like this is your everyday coffee shop, and this person who eats in this ramen restaurant, after work now has to queue with a bunch of foreigners, and I'm like, and I always think like this is the worst feeling, like if we have if we're a regular at a restaurant and I have to queue just because there's now this place has gone viral or something, and it's just I'm like, it's baffling to me. I'm like, it will be so uncomfortable, and
sort of
so
feel that here already with the traffic just getting worse every day.
Oh, it's so,
and that's because everyone's here, and
Everyone's
it's just gonna get worse and worse as the winter sort of moves forward.
I read this thing. I don't know if the numbers are correct, but it's like every major city in the world, the number of cars go up by 2% over a year, but here it's over 10% every year.
Oh my,
more
over
cars on the road.
10%.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so it's really crazy, and it's a lot to do with a lot of factors, like e-commerce, because now everything is being delivered, so there's more delivery. Cars on the road now. The Chinese cars have entered the market, so they're very cheap. So people even with a very, like, I don't want to say low salary, but a lower salary than most can now afford a car.
I mean, cars are
And
accessible.
Yeah, really accessible, and so many
And let's
things.
be honest, car is a necessity here because
Yeah.
again,
You can't.
so far the metro is not yet well enhanced to a point that you can get anywhere with a metro.
Yeah.
Or a bus would take you hours and you would wait under the heat for like
Yeah.
but so a car, if you need to get to work, is sort of a necessity. And the sad part is most households would also have 2 cars.
At least, I
Because
mean,
then you have the dad going to work, the mom going to work, dropping off the kids. Like they can't share one car when they go to work in opposite ends. So.
I mean, that's also like part of like these tourism strategies that we would read. And so, because it's like sometimes how on a city level, like what's your mobility strategy, like knowing what kind of like spaces you have. So it's like, do you create like, those tourist travel cards is like you can use on the bus or the metro, because then that would incentivize tourists to use public transport, get them off the roads, get them away from taxis,
that's smart.
or like something that'll unlock the city bikes, that kind of thing.
Right.
But I was just like coming from here and then living there, like when I moved there, I was like, I don't want to drive. And I don't want to do any manicures, pedicures. I just wanted to see if I could break this like Dubai stuff, So I didn't drive for 3 years. Freaking amazing.
Wow.
And I would read these like mobility strategies. I was just like, jizz. I was like, these are like, oh my God, carpool lane. Oh.
Ride sharing.
Like less people on the road.
Yeah, not here. Hopefully one day.
I mean,
get to that. Yeah, I'm sure they're already thinking about it because everyone's just complaining about the traffic.
No, but they're building 2 new lines. But again, a lot of people have been saying like these are routes as well, which is not generally very popular among a lot of people. So why don't they put into more populated areas? And
we need like 5 lines to international city, like stat. Like that's one,
Yes,
and like
exactly.
wherever like the pressure points are in terms of heavy congestion, which is now all of Dubai.
Yes.
Like it used to be some areas, and then now it's like to plan with people. I'm like, let's have a phone call. It's just like, less carbon.
It's those 17,000 people who just came in.
Yeah,
It's
it's crazy.
insane.
And they're all looking for jobs that brings down salaries even more. And it's
the market's like crazy.
It is crazy.
It's a hirer's market. Like I feel like there's never been a point in time where there's been like more qualified people that I've met and just like not enough jobs.
Yes.
And so alhamdulillah, I'm really like happy with my job.
Good.
But it's because I graduated in 2011 during the crisis, and it was between the UN and Namshi, and I never wanted to be unemployed again. So I was like, how do I future proof my career?
Very nice.
Like,
Very nice.
it was also sort of the pivot into sustainability, because I'm like, well, everything's getting worse and there's not enough people who know this space, so there's going to be high demand, low supply, I think. And no, actually there's a lot of supply too. I've met a lot of incredible sustainability people here as well, and struggling to find, it's a tough, it's interesting times. Completely unpredictable.
We'll have to go through this sort of, I guess Dubai's going through the shift of like just being another I don't know, New York, Manhattan, London,
Yeah.
and they're trying their best to really gear up for it. It's just not enough time. It's growing at such a rapid rate that in terms of infrastructure, in terms of like trying to build things, they just can't keep up. We'll get there one day, and I think Dubai's trying the best that they can.
Yeah.
It's just not enough time.
Yeah.
We just have to give Dubai grace because
Yeah.
they've been
The people
it's
are
been
here.
really good to us. I just have to say that for like 30 plus years.
True.
And no
yeah.
plans to move, at least for us.
For now, yeah, at
Where
least,
else?
yeah. Because
Where
we have a
else
lot
is
of things tying us here. Our jobs, all our families are here.
Oh,
both
both
our parents
sides?
are here.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All our siblings are here. So it's
It's home.
yeah, it's
It
home.
is home.
Yeah, so
yeah.
it's
Been here for 3
yeah, like we always say, like when we go back to like Philippines or India or Lebanon, we feel more of a tourist there. We don't feel at home there. Like here, it's like okay,
Yeah.
I know how to navigate. I know how to go around. I know how to.
What's
Yeah.
home for you?
I've taken, people are like, are you more American, more Malaysian, whatever. I'm like, I am now a colonizer. I claim them all. I was just like, they're
It's
all
like Pokemon, just like collect them.
yeah. I mean, and, like Spain was also surprisingly like quite welcoming. Like people take you at face value. They're like, where are you from? And you tell them, they're like, okay. And I was like, oh, that's it. There's
Yeah.
no like grilling.
Yeah.
Which is sort of interesting.
Yeah.
I find like maybe this is like credit to like polite Western politeness. Like they won't interrogate you further. Generally, there are people, but like
Yeah.
generally speaking, people take me at face value, so I don't have to like pull up receipts or anything,
Yes.
you know,
Right,
kind of
right.
thing. But I would encounter, they're like, your dad's 6'6", that's tall for Malay, and I'm like, he's white. And
Yeah.
they're like, huh? And I'm like, you think Stevens is a Malaysian name?
Stevens.
Yeah.
It's the most American name you
Yeah,
can
it
get.
is. It
It's
is.
pretty white. Yeah, a lot of people think I married a white person.
Oh, and that's how you
yeah.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because when looking at you, I would say you definitely have more prominent Asian features. It's just
Oh.
your skin that is.
I could see she's Asian.
Yeah.
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 She's a Asian.
But fellow
She has
Asian,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think because, I mean, I'm not a Asian, I'm an Arab Asian, but we can distinguish other half and halves easier,
Yeah.
I guess, than others. Or like, yeah, she's a Asian.
It's
or
like, you're a
she's half.
chameleon.
Yeah, exactly. She's a halfie or he's a halfie.
Yeah.
And we play that game a lot. Like, do you think he's had something else?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And then you wait for that person to talk so that you can
Yeah.
try to distinguish the accent. Where is it from?
More
And
context clues.
And then
Yeah.
that person has a Dubai accent and you're like, okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's tough because then that's going to be a neutral accent.
Well, I get
Yeah.
people tell me like, oh, I don't see the white at all, or I don't see the Asian at all.
Right.
You know, Asians don't see it. Like when I go back to Malaysia, I was there
Yeah.
recently. It's like everybody's like ESL opportunity with me. That's how
Oh,
they.
yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll like ask for directions and I'll be like, Pak Cik, mana train kat sini ke? And then, Madam, the train is on the left. And then I'm like, oh, terima kasih.
Yeah.
Tapi, and like, you're welcome, madam.
It's
Your
like they just-
Duolingo classes are really paying off.
Ba-bing.
They're just like, yeah, she's still white.
And then they're like, oh,
They
I got
can't
to-
get past what they're seeing, basically.
You
Yeah,
know.
just hitting the mic at this point, basically. Yeah.
Wait,
Oh, there
lift
it
it
is.
up?
Yeah,
No.
there it is.
Yeah, there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, especially
Yeah.
if I don't know if you go back to a more provincial area, which is where my mom comes from as well. Whenever I go back, they're just like, "Oh, she speaks Tagalog." I'm
Oh.
like, "Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I am Filipino."
Yeah, I
And
get
they're
that
like,
a lot.
Oh, I didn't know. Or for example, here sometimes a cashier would be a Filipina, and I start speaking to them in Tagalog or Filipino, and they're like, "Ha, kabayan ka?" And I'm like, "Yes." They're like, you don't look like a kabayan." And I'm like, "Yes." Then I have to explain. I have Lebanese and this and that. And the first question is, so your parents are still together? Yes, they are.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's the first question I also
Yeah.
always get asked though.
Yeah. Sometimes I roll my eyes, but then I'm like, yeah, they're just coming from a place where they're used to the parents or of halfies are not like together. We have a lot of half Americans and half
A lot.
Filipinos.
Where it does happen. Yeah, and I understand why they ask it too, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm curious. I'm like, are your parents together?
yeah. My parents are
So you guys are just from like wholesome homes. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well done, parents.
I'm like, I can see why you guys are
through
like, I can see why you guys are like, what a question. And in my case, I'm like, valid.
Because we grew up with both of our parents still intact. And then our siblings are here too.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Yeah. So What's next for you?
I'm kind of, I don't know, I might make a shift soon because like my whole life has been sort of like biohacking my career. Part of it was future proofing, part of it was like trying to find purpose, part of it was, but like I'm half Malaysian, but I don't have the passport. So I was born in the States. Like they have this law, they're trying to change it where Malaysian mothers can't pass it on to their kids if they've married a foreigner.
Like Lebanese.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, really?
I hate that law because why?
Yeah,
You
Oh,
know?
so you hold an American pass. I thought you were having like a dual or something, but I didn't know that's
Because you can
Yeah.
still have another passport with your American passport.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Like you can have
Okay.
10 passports if you're
Okay.
American because they'll
Yeah.
follow you with taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yep.
I mean, luckily I've never made enough. Like that, there's a threshold.
Yeah,
So,
correct.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
she was
Yeah.
explaining to me this the other day. She
Yeah.
knew about that.
Yeah. I think your salary has to be like 50K plus per month
Okay.
before they charge you some kind of income
Okay.
tax
Got
if
it.
you live abroad.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not a 50 plus earner. Bootstrap startup, middle seat economy.
could also be a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
Air
Then it's
Arabia, fly
probably-
Dubai flights.
It's probably gonna end up the same anyway.
Yeah. I mean, at least I don't have to but I still have to file taxes. But I wanted to find a career in impact that would take me traveling, hopefully more to Malaysia kind of thing. And so I got this job in January, alhamdulillah. And like, it takes me a lot traveling. And like my boss, she's this incredibly smart, amazing human, but has a little, her plate is swamped and also a little bit of like social anxiety. So she's like, you're good at public speaking. And like the comic in me is like, I'm good at something. And so she's like, okay, you go for all the talks and stuff. So she's flown me around, which is really nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. But I mean, again, middle seat economy, low cost carrier
Yeah.
flights kind of thing.
Still.
Yeah.
Because you have to be sustainable.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So
So-
flying like Malaysia and like I had flown back from, I don't, this feels like a brag. Okay. It's a less humble
Go
brag.
for it. Go
I went
for
to Rio for the BRICS conference, which was
Nice.
super cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was a big deal in Rio that BRICS was happening. So I flew back on this middle seat. Like, it's not a joke. It's a real, like, next to this, like, young Portuguese guy. And, like, between my broken Spanish and, like, borrowed Portuguese words, we could have a conversation. And so he was like, what were you doing in Rio? And I'm like, I was there for BRICS. And he's like, oh, BRICS. And he's like, he looked at me like, oh, eres muy importante. Like, you're very important. And I was like, sí.
Chicken, please, or beef.
My plastic spoon broke.
Can I please use the toilet? Can I step over you?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, the person on my other side fell asleep. I'm just going to scooch over here.
So much elbow room now.
Like, pero sí muy importante.
Yeah, I've been told this. I am.
I'm just humble, you know. I just like to keep myself laid low, you know.
It's like a balance, you know, because
Yeah.
it's like Rio.
Yeah.
And then it's like, also, yes. Oh, you don't have chicken? Okay, that's fine. I'll have air. It's fine. Like the stewardesses are like in their like mid-50s aunties with like the overdrawn lipstick.
Yes.
And like, you know, they're like, okay, you want your food? Like, hola, cariño. You're like, oh, this has lipstick stains on it. That's great. Yeah.
It's a long flight, right? To
12
Rio,
hours.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very-
Yeah.
Oof.
And I was just like, it's also been a while since I'd been around, like, because Rio's also very, like, Brazil in general, like, they're very religious because this kid pulled out his rosary.
Oh,
And it was also,
okay.
like, Iberian Air, which is, like, a Latin American
Okay.
low-cost
Yes.
carrier. So then I was just like, hey, Tío, like, let's pray together. Because it was, like, bumpy takeoff.
Let's just get this flight going. I need to reach to my destination.
Like, let's just hope we land this thing. Like,
Exactly. And you said
Yeah.
you're flying soon? Is that for
Yeah.
work too?
It is for work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm flying tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun for pitching as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to Boston. So
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, another
Yeah.
long flight.
another long
Yeah.
flight. Yeah. But it's like from the motherland to the fatherland
Yeah.
via my adopted desert land.
Okay.
kind of
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
I feel like actually this was the place that felt the most home for a long period in my life because being everywhere, moving here at 15, we went to a British school and like finally no more public schools.
Yeah.
And everybody was mixed there. There was like some of my first friends were like there was like South African, British, Filipino, Egyptian. There like Polish, Greek, or and then so I was like,
We need them for the podcast.
yeah, all these halfies, and I was just like, oh, everybody's weird, just like me, or like we're all special, just like
And
everyone
you felt
else.
at home. You're like, finally.
Yeah, because then
people.
everyone was from somewhere.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And everyone had the unique story and everything, so it's
So that you can focus on the high school petty shit,
Yeah.
So I mean, because then it's like, oh no shit, boys, or oh no shit, like makeup or clothes or whatever. People were buying their pants from Bershka instead of like the uniform, like baggy pants kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, my sister cleaned out Carrefour that first year.
VIP client.
Because public schools are, uniforms, especially in Malaysia. This was uniforms too, but like, it was also mixed with the European kids and stuff. Like coming from Asia, I saw these, like my classmates, I was like, oh my God, they're like Italian or whatever. I saw them as like these like tall, willowy like models. I look back and I'm like, what a bunch of dorks.
Nerd.
All of us.
But coming from Asia where it's like even more sheltered,
Right.
It's like there was a rumor that a boy and girl, which boy girl we don't know, maybe made out in the bathrooms, maybe got expelled. There's like this,
Yes.
And then I went to this
mystery.
It's
a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
And then I moved to a British school, like on the edge of a landfill in Sharjah. And like this kid was like getting expelled for a sex tape. Another girl was like leaving because she got pregnant. It was like proper, like,
my gosh.
yeah.
Scandalous.
Yeah,
In
super
UAE?
scandalous. In UAE.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, but a British school. So
Yeah.
they were like proper chavs. And,
Yeah.
my parents were so excited, like, oh, you're going to a British school. And so they're
in
like,
Sharjah, so they're gonna be strict.
they thought it was like a Mary Poppins kind of experience. My dad's like, ooh, make sure to stick out your pinky. We'll have tea. Yeah.
Tea and crumpets for lunch, my darling.
And then they're like, oh, Tiffany got knocked up, yeah, and she's getting expelled, yeah. And it's like, what? And they're like, sex tape. And I'm like, what sex? Like, I came from Malaysia. This is haram. Exactly. Did the what and the what? And then the girl with the sex tape tried to hit on my dad. I was just like, oh no, step away.
Oh my goodness.
I know, my dad was also just like, I don't understand. He was like amused, but he didn't know what was happening. The accents were so thick,
Yes.
So my dad was just like, what's your friend saying? Not a friend. Get away.
I don't know her dad.
It was a whole other kind of culture shock coming
Right.
from Malaysia, where it's like, because then I think back to that, like that mysterious couple that kissed in Malaysia. Like, no way. I don't think that even happened.
Yeah.
Which is a rumor that was started, maybe.
Yeah. And like so painfully shy. Like there's this whole idea of like societal harmony in Asia.
Right,
So
right.
that you don't do things,
Yeah.
to upset societal harmony.
Right.
Or like you guys were in Japan, right? Like you see people cover their mouths when they're on the phone.
Yes.
And so there's just the whole like social awareness.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah. And then going to a British school was just like the other end, where it's just
Chaotic, and
Yeah.
no rules, and
loud, and ridiculous. And
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh yeah, go muff diving," and I was like, "Where's that? Where's Muff Beach?"
so what's the oxygen tank you need? Like, you wear flippers during this?
Well, he was proper minging, so it's all right. And it's just like, what's minging? Like,
Please educate me.
I'm out with his bird, and like, what? Pigeon?
the kind of education that like no one prepares you for from like a Kuwait or like Malaysian public school system.
But I love how you have sort of this very different cultural nuances that had sort of shaped you to who you are now. You have your Malaysian background, your Arab background, your American background, and British background. Everything sort of just
Yeah, no, you understand people better. You understand like dynamics of what makes people do what they do, and then
and you meet anyone and you can sort of maybe have something in common with literally anyone with all the background and lives that you've lived, basically. Yeah.
There's some people I struggle to relate with sometimes.
Like, how are you such an idiot?
or just like ultra wealthy, I guess. Like I met a guy
Right.
once who like he moved to Dubai, and I was like, where are you staying? He's like, in an 8-bedroom villa. And I was like, oh, you have housemates? He's like, no. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's all for you.
yeah. And he was like, I brought my Tesla over, and like my friends made fun of it, so I got a Rolls Royce. And then like I had to kind of stop him. I was like, I don't even know how to broach this topic, but I'm like, I work for a living, so like, what's your situation that you can just move to Dubai to an 8-bedroom villa?
Right.
So-
Like,
Do you want some of my cup noodles?
Yeah.
Like, It's made fresh in the kettle. Like,
Exactly.
Do you need a housemate or something?
Yeah, I was just like, dang, bro.
Wow.
Okay. Like, hard to relate kind of
Yeah.
problems. Because he's like, oh, the value of my Rolls Royce is down, so I don't know what to do. I can't even like resell it at the same value. And I was like,
Oh, boo-hoo.
ooh. I was like, let me know how that works. And I
Yeah.
don't really.
just order my Kareem taxi right now. Like, that's it.
That's so Dubai, though. You get this sort of extreme.
Yeah, it's like the rich people
Rich.
problems.
Yeah.
And then you have
Right?
people who are here sort of just trying to make every day go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sending money back to their
Yeah.
family in their home country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a
yeah.
shared bedroom space, and then you have like the uber wealthier, like
Yeah. Like I had a Filipino roommate for a while, and so I was part of the whole Kabayan community, which is
love
great.
that, yeah.
Yeah. But my Tagalog really didn't get that far. Like I tried. I mean,
Yeah.
I made her chicken adobo once.
Oh,
and I
there
was
you
like,
go.
Yeah, I was excited for her to come home, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, Dinah, I made you chicken adobo," and then she was like, "Yeah, it's like garlic, soy sauce, ginger. It's not a big deal." And I was like, like, "Okay."
thank you would be nice.
Salamat.
Exactly. But then like I got the Filipino discount stuff too. So she was like, I have a friend who's a barber, but like in his off time he cuts hair, and like let's go to his place. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay. Like it's like a 50 dirham haircut,
Yeah.
but like from someone who works at a hotel. So
Right.
normally it's
okay.
like a 400 dirham haircut or something.
Yes.
So I'm like, bet. But we went to his bed space to do it. And so that was kind of like a shock. Like you walk in and there's like 16 people and they're like closing their
Right,
curtains and
right,
stuff.
right.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, you're just going to cut my hair in the middle. And he was like, yeah, it's fine. People playing music, people like eating. And then you're just like in the middle and, you know, and then where are you from?
Like, do we talk or do we
And then
like?
they just look at you and they're like, oh, nice haircut.
yeah. But then like in a way though, there's a camaraderie to also like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like this guy, I went over to his 8-bedroom and I'm like, is it lonely? You know, it's
Yeah.
because I feel like there's so many life experiences that can bring people together, but really it's like, I mean, this is my politics coming out. It's like the class struggle. It's the working
Yeah.
class versus, you know, no, I mean, he was nice, like, but I'm like, this is so, it's alien for me, you know, and
Yeah.
like you have your cars, you have this huge space and you have no one,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like, I mean, you can like your own space and
Right.
whatever,
Yeah.
but then like in a bed space where or growing up in a big family, you know, you're used to having that chaos or
Yes.
like
Yeah.
that community,
Yes.
because then in place of resources, your village is what comes through,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
and I really felt that in Spain because like when we got COVID in Spain twice,
Right.
and they don't have the infrastructure. Like Spain wasn't set up the way Dubai is set up because the pandemic hits Dubai. It's okay. We already have a delivery culture.
Yes.
We already have like systems in place where it's possible to work from home,
Yeah.
you know, and be sick and like have COVID tests come to you. We had COVID and I'm like calling in like Spanish and whatever, like the websites don't work that well. It's Catalan Spanish,
Okay.
you know, and then they were like, okay, you need to, because I was part of the social healthcare system, and they're like, you need to go to your nearest like CAP. It's like your designated thing. So I got there, like me and my husband double mask. We had to walk outside. We're sweating. It was like full symptoms. We don't
Yeah.
want to get anyone sick. And then they were like, oh, you need to prove your residency. And so we had to go to another building, print out a paper.
Oh yikes.
Yeah,
Okay.
go back. And then they're like, you're at the wrong CAP. It's the other one. Oh my God. So it's like this whole thing. And then by the time we got there, it was like closing for Easter. And then they were like, we don't really want to take you in, but fine.
Wow.
So I got to experience like social healthcare there. You know, and so I had to fall on my community because like we tried to order stuff and it's like deliveries in the West so expensive.
Yeah.
And they don't always get it right. There were so
Right.
many things missing. And so I had to call my master's classmates, and they're the ones that showed up with like groceries and checking in and stuff like that. And then when they were sick, we did it for them.
Yeah.
And I was on a Spanish salary with that 24%.
With the
So
tax.
it's like,
yeah.
So you really get into this, like, you know, you have to help each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
money is like, it's power, it's a resource, but it can also be like hella isolating and
Yeah.
makes you very removed from like these kind of human experiences where
True.
naturally we were supposed to depend on each other.
Yeah.
It comes with the inconvenience of community. You don't want to have to deal with like an annoying sibling or parent or things like that all the time. But then when you're down on your luck, this is who comes through.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of nice in that sense. And then no one expects like massive things from you either. So it's just like your presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice.
Just being there and yeah.
Yeah, it's just I always have this thought on the back of my head, like if tomorrow like, the apocalypse happens, like your money is not worth anything. So who do you depend on?
Yeah, who will you go
Basically,
to? Who will
Mhm.
you?
People around you,
Yeah.
the people who you've built relationships with. So
Mhm.
if you live your life just for the wealth or the money, as you said, it can be isolating, especially in times of need
Yeah.
when all you need is not money related. You
Mm.
know? So
And there's a positive correlation between wealth and empathy, where it's like the less wealth people have, the more empathetic they are.
yeah,
And then the opposite is true. Like the more wealthier, because like you don't need people, you don't need a community, because you can just pay for things.
Yeah.
And then so you just lose that compassion
Yeah.
or that
Yeah.
being able to relate to other people.
yeah.
And
There's a lot
so
of things that you're not going to be able to relate to.
yeah. Like the most generous people tend to be the ones who can't afford to be generous, you know,
Yeah.
True.
because they know what it's like
Yeah.
to not be able to have stuff
Yeah.
versus, you know, so it's, I like moving around in different circles. And I mean, this person, like, he was very interesting for me from like an anthropological study point.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, I'm gonna just-
wow.
Just study you, man. Like how you live
Yeah.
your life on a daily basis, you know?
Yeah,
So-
like we were talking about like the safety of different cities, and like I was like, well, Dubai is very safe. I've like left my wallet in a taxi, and then I've run back and it's still there. All my money's still there. And he was like, yeah, I had this watch. It's like 300K or something. He was like, it's not about the price. It's just a personal story that I had with it. He's like, I left it in the bathroom. It was still there in Hong Kong and stuff. And he's like, but that watch has been, he's like, it's less the value. It's more the sentimental value.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
been with me through life and through a lot of things. And I was like, wow, that's how I feel about my laptop.
my phone that has all my pictures and
Yeah, it's like, oh no, if this dies, like, it's, you know.
It's not worth the house, but
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
worth a lot of sentimental value to
Yeah.
me.
I mean, we're still human despite
Yeah.
the wealth gaps, you
Yeah.
know?
yeah,
but,
yeah.
but
just
it's
we all
like-
just operate on different
Norms.
norms,
Yeah.
vibrations, everything, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
they wouldn't understand our struggle, we wouldn't understand their struggle, but
Yeah.
at the same time it hits them harder when something happens to them financially because they're like, oh, how do I adjust? Like for me, I can adjust with like an X salary, but for them they're like, okay, how do I, if I even go a little bit below what I make on a monthly basis, that will disrupt my full routine for the
Lifestyle.
for
You're
my
not prepared
moves.
for the downgrades. I mean, well, you're experiencing life creep right now, lifestyle
Yeah,
creep.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is hard to sort of downgrade when you've gone up.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of Barcelona for me because I felt like
Right.
Dubai is business class, and I
Yeah.
was like, I don't need business class. I can do economy or economy flex.
Yeah.
Barcelona was cargo class. I was like, what? Like, you know, cleaning or like not convenient at all. Can't order anything. You really have to like put on your big girl pants and like take life by the. I mean, I loved
Yeah.
my time there.
Yeah.
Even though there was like simmering frustration, I loved my time in Barcelona. Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, but the adjustment period, oh my god, where it's just like you can't outsource anything. You can't. It's not reliable. They just don't have that infrastructure of services.
Yeah.
You know, you want to get something attested in Dubai, there's like 50 agencies.
You do it even online.
You do
if
it
you want
online,
to, yeah.
but you can outsource it. You can
Yeah.
pay someone to do the thing.
Yeah.
In Barcelona, you almost can't. Like,
Wow.
there's almost no like demand for it because everybody's used to doing things themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
And my master's was a bunch of kids who, you know, they graduated during the pandemic, so they just started their master's, no work experience or whatever, but fiercely independent because they're just used to like, you don't grow up with help, you don't grow up in with systems that are like supportive or whatever, and so they just like been white knuckling through life,
Yeah.
you know, into their early 20s, and I'm like, I just want someone to do my paperwork for me. I just want someone to clean my house, and
Yeah.
deliver my food,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so I had to just like world's tiniest violin playing.
That was your norm here, so it must have
Yeah.
been
True.
Yeah.
difficult to readjust.
Oh my gosh, the salary
Yeah.
was also like, once I was offered a full-time salary, I'm like, this was not a salary I made since I was an intern in Dubai,
Yeah.
you know? Because I was like, this is my 2013 salary you're offering in 2021. Like,
Wow.
how dare you?
Yeah.
He's like, check the market. And that was the market. Like, you know, so I had never been more accomplished career-wise at that time.
But at the same salary bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like thinking of Dubai tourism. Like, oh, they had a barista for free on site. You know, like lunch was free.
Like, I miss my Dubai life.
Yeah. I was like, I remember like my ex-husband and I used to throw house parties, and then people would leave around 2 a.m. or something. I'd like fall asleep around 3. I'd like, you know, schedule cleaners at like 11 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fall asleep, wake up, let them in, make coffee. By noon, my house is like clean, I'm showered, and you know, it's just like all handled.
Yeah.
In Spain, because of the community thing and no one has money, people would offer to take the trash out on their way out after a party. So it was kind of like they'll come over with drinks and snacks, and then when they leave, they'll like take the
we'll
trash.
help you clean up and everything.
Yeah. So then I'm like, well, I'd still prefer mates come over.
I don't want my guests to like clean up after they had a good time, you know, like.
I'm like, but also, you know,
Yeah.
and it's not like the buildings are old and stuff, so it's not convenient either. It's not like just down the road, down the hallway, you just throw your trash down the chute. It actually is kind of a hassle.
Yeah.
So
It's a walk.
yeah, like my ex-husband was like, he used to fight with people like, no, don't take the trash, and I was like, you know what, it would
Yeah.
like let them take it down the elevator or down the stairs to the street. It actually, they're offering like,
Yeah.
you know.
They said it, yeah.
Yeah, and then like we'll do the same at other people's houses. So there's like these compensation things. It's
Yeah.
like where there isn't the wealth and there's the village, you know. And so that was kind of a nice cultural experience as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, cleaning up after yourself, not the nice cultural
Yeah.
experience, or being able to outsource services.
Yeah.
But becoming independent and then learning how to be interdependent was an interesting shift.
Yeah.
Though I have to say, coming back to Dubai, I like got my mani-pedis.
Yeah.
Got in the car.
I miss this.
Yeah. Like driving my car with like a nice manicure, and I was just like, this is nice too.
How long has it been since you've been back?
I officially came back last year.
Okay.
But like last year I was kind of digital nomading for a bit. Like I had my family as a base here,
Mhm.
and then so I also worked remotely from like Thailand, Europe, and then so that was nice. So I was
Yeah.
like in and out for a while.
Right.
And then
Okay.
this job I've been in and out. So 2 years I guess since I've
Yeah.
been back, but
Yeah.
not a full 2 years. It's also why I'm always consistently inconsistent with comedy.
Mm.
Because then like
Right.
I'll do like several shows several weeks in a row, and people will be like, I never see you perform, and I'm like, oh, I know. And then I'm like back into the routine, then I'm out.
Yeah.
And then now it's been a few weeks and now I feel rusty again. So I'm like
Mm.
constantly the evergreen comic.
Oh, you're a new comedian. Welcome to the circuit. All the
Every
time.
freaking time. Or
Yeah.
sometimes it's worse where it's just like, hi, we've never met, and I'm like, we have, but I
You
never
shared the
show
stage
up.
last week.
Well, it'll be last year, or it'll
Yeah.
be 6
Yeah.
months ago, and then so it's like I want to get back into that routine, but then I'm constantly in and out as well.
It's
So
the
tough
struggle
with
of
your
not
job.
being a full-time comedian, right?
Yeah.
It's like I have my work, I have my family, I have my kids, I have all these things, and then I still want to do something for myself. It's very
Mhm.
tough. It's very tough.
yeah. I mean, like massive kudos to the comics who like consistent, because like
Yeah.
most of the time it doesn't pay,
Yeah.
so it's a hard passion to keep up with.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it is a hobby because it's not, I don't have Netflix special dreams or anything
Yeah.
like that, but it's fun. It's good, like social workout, I feel.
Yeah.
It keeps
Get
me
you out there.
limber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Especially for work and conferences
Yeah.
and networking,
Yeah.
where people are like, oh, you're really comfortable. I'm like, improv.
Yeah. You should see me on stage.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, yes and no. Depends on the night. It depends
Yeah.
on the room.
Yeah.
But improv is like, for me, improv has been new. Like I started in the summer,
Okay.
and for me it's the best because like stand up is like you have to prepare.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
alone. There's like people judging you. You're judging them.
Yeah.
And you're up there isolated. But improv is like you get to be silly. You're in a troupe. You have more fun when you support others and
Yeah.
they're comfortable and they
There's no
support you.
mistakes. There's someone to
Yeah.
back you up. You always do
Mhm.
the yes and, so there's always a continuation.
Exactly.
But stand up is a very solo thing. So I write by myself, I perform by myself.
Mhm.
Yeah, but in
In improv.
it's a different ball game.
And it's the childhood equivalent of like performing in the living room for your family.
Yeah.
Where it's just like it's just a group. I always have this like magical feeling during improv nights where it's just usually there's more improvisers than audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so just seeing like a bunch of people lip syncing to Backstreet Boys or something, it's like in the normal scenario, it's so cringe, but
Yeah.
it's like you embrace the cringe,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And I'm just like, oh, we're just such stupid adults. I love it. And,
Just
and
letting loose.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the only space in Dubai where people don't ask, where are you from and what do you do?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Okay.
it's like later you find out, oh shit, he's a big deal at a big deal place.
Yeah.
But, but then in the moment, it's like, I'm a pedophile priest. It's like, yes, and I'm the child you're molesting. And it's causing me confusion with my sexual orientation.
We should go and watch her do improv. That would be nice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There's a show tomorrow, but I'm flying in the morning.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys should go anyways to Bomedy.
Which to the Bomedy show?
Mhm.
Okay.
Social District. Yeah.
I'm
Plug.
performing tomorrow, so I won't be able to
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
have a show.
yeah.
Have a gig.
I mean, it's kind of a painful watch, I think, improv in general.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll say this, I had a friend who's like, she loves me and we're super mutually supportive, but she's like, babe, I can't with this art form.
You know, even for me, I find improv very, very different from stand-up. And when I look at both art forms, like I understand improv is a great tool to have in stand-up comedy. But I'm not a crowd work comedian, and I don't interact with audience at all. Maybe one or two jokes where I integrate the audience into it, but I still know, like, okay, I have an out when I integrate with the audience or interact with the audience. But improv, I'm just like, I cannot do this. Like I've done improv classes and I'm like, this is so weird for me. It's so
Yeah.
weird for me. I'm very antisocial. I'm very introverted. So like having, hey, go to this guy and do a dance with him. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Joshua,
Yeah.
because I always get the same feedback. Josh, you're so stiff. You're and at the same time, like improv, you don't have to technically be funny. Just try to find a way to continue it. And they're like, Joshua, the reason why you're struggling is you always think, what can I do that's funny, or what can I say that's funny? And that's the wrong way of looking at improv. It's just about yes anding and then
Being in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I mean, like everything is a tool, it's a skill that you
Yeah.
learn, right? Or it's a skill that you develop, because it is like hella painful. Like
Yeah.
the integration at the start. It's like you're in a room full of strangers and now you need to make weird noises,
Yeah.
you know, or word association or questions or, you know, so like you're not really given that time to sort of get over that social
Yeah.
weirdness
Yeah.
where it's just like you can't even just be like, hi, I'm, you know,
Yeah.
it's
Just go
but-
with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then by the end of it, like I realized over time, because in the beginning it was really like uncomfortable for me, you know, but then over time, like these people became like some of my like really good friends. And it's like that quote, I think Aristotle, Socrates, one of these guys, you learn more about a man in an hour of play than years of study. And so I'm like, these people like know me and I know them. And it's like, that's weird. I've only just met them in July. But like,
Love that.
yeah. But then like, you've also made them laugh unexpectedly. They've made you laugh.
Yeah.
You see like glimpses into personality that you would never get from like colleagues
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
you know, or family at functions kind of thing. Like you're really seeing they're weird
Yeah.
and they're seeing yours.
Yeah.
And like creating that sense of safety and everything is like, it's difficult, but
There's
that's
a lot of
what-
vulnerability
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like
Like
letting
even at
go.
me, like at work, I'm a completely different person. And then when I'm on stage or with my friends, then you'll see like two different sides of people, you know, and at the same time, you're like, oh, you know, this guy's the CEO of this tech company. And then now he's just doing like, he's lying on the floor trying to do an A with his friend, you know, it's like, yeah, there's no like social structure over there. It's like anything goes, everything is fun, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the process of it is quite like thrilling,
Yeah.
but I can understand from a passive audience perspective. You're just like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know?
I've
What
watched
is
shows. I've watched
happening?
improv shows at like the Courtyard. I've seen Dubomedy people, and sometimes I'm just like, why is this 40-year-old man like on his knees right now trying to play a traffic stop? You know, it's just
exactly.
like, yeah. But I understand it. Of course, I'm a very appreciative of every art form, especially something that is tailored to make someone smile or make someone's day. So I'm.
Yeah, I would encourage you to come back to it. I mean, maybe not necessarily, like maybe something a bit more informal, because like me and Imrana, we try to meet with a group informally. I mean, it's tough now because it's like travel season, everyone's in and out, but like
Right.
for a little while we were kind of weekly consistent in September. And it's nice when you get that kind of glue going and you find that cadence with your troop mates and then you start to sort of understand what the other person's trying to do, because like once you get over there's like the social awkward obstacle, then there's like learning the games, then there's learning your partners. Now you can be funny,
Yeah.
but it takes a while.
A while too.
Yeah.
So you
You
just
have
once
to
you
go
pass
through
that
it.
hump, then I think.
Yeah.
Yo.
I feel like it's like stand up is like you need to get over the stage fright before now you can enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
Because like my first 5 shows, I would get on stage and everything turned white. Like I like no sense of like bodily presence or like audience or like, you know, that's why Mina had us like commit things to memory almost, because it's like you you won't have space, you know?
Yeah.
But then once you get over that initial thing, now you can be funny. Now you can engage with the audience. Now, you know, so
You can
there's
add
always
some
that
stuff
like
to it. Yeah.
barrier.
Yeah,
of
there's always
entry.
steps that at least you need to follow before you start realizing you're good. That's why it's a consistency game, right? So
Yeah. Or like yoga as well. I
Yeah.
mean, you do one yoga class a week, you're not going anywhere. You have to
Yeah.
do it pretty consistently.
That's true. Yeah.
Improv is a bit like that. The barrier of entry feels high and awkward.
true.
But then, yeah, I also realize like this has, at least for me in my life, like starting over from the bottom in anything, work, comedy. I'm always a learner, you know?
Right.
And like I moved to Spain, I didn't speak Spanish. I speak Spanish now,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
it's not amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes just throw yourself in the deep end and then just
Yeah.
try to find a way to swim, and like
Yeah.
get comfortable with the uncomfortable. So
Yeah. And with the way the world's going, like with AI and
yeah.
I know I'm gonna take this to a very doom and gloom pace, like towards the
Yeah.
end of this conversation. But it's the ones who are agile that survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like with an uncertain future, no one can tell you what jobs you need to take, what skills you need to
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
where
yeah.
to move,
That's true.
like so
Yeah.
the ones who will survive are the ones who adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones who adapt can improvise.
Yes.
Yeah. So I
I'm
feel like
so thankful to our parents because they instilled that in us, like just by being in a multicultural
yeah.
space makes you adapt.
Yeah.
You're speaking to your one side of the family, then another side of the family, then you meet strangers and you're like, okay, how do I
Yeah.
adapt to that? So thanks, parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you're navigating two worlds.
Yes.
And then you can already see the disconnects, I'm sure, like from both sides of the family where you're
Yeah.
like, they're saying one thing, they're saying another. Here's the
Exactly.
confusion.
Exactly.
And then you have to step in as like this 8-year-old diplomat and
Yeah.
like broker a peace deal between two parties.
Exactly.
And it's really just like,
Yeah.
it's like things get lost in translation all the time.
Yeah.
But I think it's also so much of understanding is like nonverbal
Yeah.
in communication.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like body language, eye contact, etc. And so you
True.
can tell from, that this is how we navigate different worlds.
Yeah. And it makes you, at a younger age, self-aware
Yeah.
and very aware of not just yourself, but your
You adapt
surroundings.
better, yeah.
Yeah, hella self-aware.
Yeah.
Yeah. And aware of others too.
I love that for us.
Yeah. I love that. This is so cute. It's like, to me, this is a Venn diagram of your overlapping
Yeah.
cultures.
Exactly.
as
That's why I
well.
put Philippines in the middle because that's what we
Yes.
both have in common, and then
Yeah.
our other
That's
nationalities.
us. So if someone's watching this and sort of like is crushing on you right now, where can they see me get to know you?
Oh.
How?
Like what's your Instagram?
Do you have another
or-
Do you have a show coming up?
I don't have any shows coming up. I will when I come back from
Yep.
Boston. But my Instagram handle is Khalululu. It's this
I'll
is
put
what
it
my,
there in the
Yeah.
video.
I'm not super active, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's like that's a good place to find me.
Bumble.
Hinge.
Yeah.
We're happy that the podcast is still here and we can hold the
Yeah, I know.
conversation.
I'm
Yeah.
really glad we went.
Yeah.
We went for a long time, but I
Yeah.
think it was a lot of like discussion and talking in a world that is very digital is always nice. So
Yeah.
that's our first episode back after 9 months. So thank you for being a part of it.
Thank you for
It was a
having
great
me.
way
Thank you
to
for your
come
time.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Happy.
the 9-month delivery.
Exactly. You're the baby.
You're the baby.
Yeah, you guys have been gestating. Oh, my happy parents.
Exactly. This is our child, everyone.
This is what we've been hiding for the last
Exactly.
9 months.
She's been birthed.
Oh, I'm happy to be part of the comeback.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
guys.
much.
Perfect though. Thank you for being here.
And on
Yeah.
that note,
Have a nice
nice
day,
day.
everyone.
Oh, have a nice day. I love it.
bye.
Bye.